Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to our YouTube channel once again. And it is my hope and prayer that this video is going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I am fine as you can see. Kisumu is also fantastic. And maybe you could also let me know where you are watching the video from, the county or the country in case you are out of the republic. Ladies and gentlemen, if you go to Twitter right now, William Kabogo is trending at #1. And why is William Kabogo trending on Twitter? William Kabogo is trending on Twitter because earlier today he was on Kameme FM and there's a statement that he made that has shocked the entire country and sent panic into Kenya Kwanza. This is what Kabogo said. Let me just quote in verbatim. Uhuru Kenyatta neglected us because he knew how the future would be, but he only hinted to us what was coming, and this is why we are living in this situation. During the elections, I always feel like Kenyans leave their brains at home. So in short, William Kabogo is saying that Uhuru Kenyatta warned them against electing William Ruto, but he just warned them from far. And that during elections, Kenyans actually leave their brains at home. But Kenyans were quick to remind William Kabogo that Uhuru Kenyatta was very bold and warned Mount Kenya and the entire country for that matter against electing William Ruto. But they refused to heed to the advice of Uhuru Kenyatta.
Mimi nawaambia chungeni sana. Hakuna kitu hatari kama mdomo tamu ikuje ikuambie vile atafanya na yale anakuambia atafanya wakati alikuwa na uwezo hakufanya. Lakini leo anakuambia mimi nitakuja kufa. Hey. Tunaelewana? Tunaelewana? Na ndipo nasema wenzangu wa Bungoma. Wenzangu wa Bungoma. Wenzangu wa Bungoma. Msicheze na moto. Si mumecheza na moto na mumeumia. Si mumecheza na moto na mumeumia. Munataka kurudi kwa moto ama munataka kuokoka? Munataka kuokoka? Njia ya kuokoka ni baba. Nawaambia. Uzee sio ugo. Uzee sio nini?
And they're even playing this kind of videos of William Kabogo really campaigning for William Ruto in 2022.
Jamii hii ya UDA mkiongozwa na Mheshimiwa Rais wa 5
But why would William Kabogo talk the way he talked today on Kameme FM? People really called in during the show, and most of them agreed that indeed Uhuru Kenyatta warned them, but they did not listen to Uhuru Kenyatta, and that they are regretting that move today. But in this video, I want us to do a critical analysis why people like Kabogo would now come out openly to talk the way they are talking. Because just the other day, you saw none other than Ferdinand Waititu talking the way he spoke. As a matter of fact, at some point, William Kabogo was very clear that Uhuru Kenyatta does not have friends. Just recently here. So what has really changed? Before we do all those, in case you're watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, allow me to dive in. Why do you think Kabogo spoke the way he spoke? And do you agree with William Kabogo that Uhuru Kenyatta did not really warn the mountain? If I remember, Uhuru Kenyatta really warned Kenyans, and particularly the mountain. There are many instances where Uhuru Kenyatta would even warn the mountain using their language. At some point, Uhuru Kenyatta even went to vernacular stations to warn them against electing William Ruto or voting for William Ruto for that matter, because he challenged them that between them and him, who knew William Samoei Ruto?
Na kou atiga ya kuheo mundu aingira nyumba iyo karitho muri mucaragia ona nyuĩ mwemenyerere mutigatũrehere mitu mwemenyerere mwemenyerere maya Ngai mwemenyerere tondu mutikwenda ni ndikenda kuigua mukirira mwikĩoro ati nĩ gwathũkire.
But the question is, Kenyans went to the election. William Ruto is now the president of the Republic of Kenya. Why would people like William Kabogo talk the way they are talking? Number one, it's politics of betrayal. There are several individuals in this republic who campaigned for William Ruto in the hope that they were going to benefit. They were going to be appointed. One of them is William Kabogo. But personally, sometimes I don't understand the way politicians look at things. William Kabogo was the pioneer governor for Kiambu. In 2017, William Kabogo was defeated by none other than Ferdinand Waititu. William Kabogo had performed as a governor, did his work so well. But William Ruto engineered his downfall. Why? Because William Ruto had figured out that in 2022, he was going to run for the presidency of the Republic of Kenya. And William Ruto also, in his mind, knew that by 2022, if William Kabogo was going to be re-elected in 2017, he was going to finish his second term. And therefore, Kabogo was going to pose a challenge or a threat to his bid. He did that to several people, including including Peter Munya. he did that to including people like Kabando wa Kabando. But in 2022, most of these guys really ended up supporting him. Now they are realizing that walichezwa, there's nothing. So that's number one. Number two, it's also clear that Mount Kenya leaders are now acknowledging that it was a mistake to vote for William Ruto. They are regretting, just like the voters down there are regretting. It can't be by coincidence that Kabogo is talking the way he's talking. Waititu is talking the way he spoke. And I was reading some post on Facebook by someone who was the guy called Wanjohi somebody. He really made some interesting posts how he would campaign for Ruto, and now he's really regretting. So that is the reality, that most of these guys are now regretting why they voted for William Samoei Arap Ruto. The question is, how would that impact on William Ruto's bid for 2027? The truth of the matter is that William Ruto has also realized that Mount Kenya is not very happy with him. And his strategy now is to focus in Western Kenya. And that's why William Ruto just concluded his 3-day tour of Western Kenya. The truth is, William Ruto was in Meru for 3 days also. If you compare his tour of Meru and the one in Western, which is also 3 days, you'll see a big difference. In Western Kenya, he even held meeting with leaders from the Luhya nation, and they made certain agreements. In Meru, it was just rallies. So it means William Ruto also understands that Mount Kenya might not give him the votes the way they gave him in the last election, and therefore is looking up to Luhya nation. So that's number three. Uhuru Kenyatta's popularity in Mount Kenya is clearly on the rise. And that's why these guys are talking positively, because the way Kabogo spoke is positive. That during elections, Kenyans leave their brains at home. So that's positive towards Uhuru. That Uhuru Kenyatta really did not warn them properly. You know, how do you warn someone properly? That Uhuru Kenyatta, you know, aliwawarn tu kidogo, angewawarn vizuri. So it means popularity of Uhuru Kenyatta is going up. If it was otherwise, I can assure you, he would have joined the bandwagon attacking Uhuru Kenyatta. And let me ask you, why do you think Uhuru Kenyatta is no longer topic during political activities in Mount Kenya? Why? What has changed? What has happened? Why do you think people like Rigathi Gachagua have shifted their strategy? They are no longer attacking Uhuru Kenyatta. Uhuru Kenyatta is no longer their pet subject. It's because Uhuru Kenyatta's popularity is rising. And while that popularity is rising, Uhuru Kenyatta has remained silent. So these guys don't know what's happening. Number 4, it is also clear that Kenya Kwanza as a government has failed. Economy, they have failed. The promises not yet met. Their policies are not working. Everything Kenya Kwanza is failing. Earlier today, I was reading some comment on Facebook. I think there was someone who talked about Kenya Kwanza and how they are operating. Then someone made an interesting post that Kenya Kwanza government have borrowed 1.6 trillion in 16 months. And there is nothing they've done with that money. They can't show 10-kilometer road they've done with the 1.6 trillion which they've borrowed in 16 months. And indeed, it's true. What have they done? I want you who is watching this video up to this stage to let me know if you know any single road which Kenya Kwanza have done. Yeah? Since they took over. Just 10-kilometer road. Forget about those roads which were started by the Handshake brothers. Because those ones already, they had allocated money. If it was donor funded, the money was already there. So it's a matter of completion. And in fact, even those ones, most of them have stalled. Show me. Because that guy was suggesting that Kenya Kwanza, as we speak, this is the era where very few construction of roads are happening. And lastly, I think there's an agreement amongst Mount Kenya leaders to start campaigning against Ruto, to mobilize the masses against Ruto. Previously, very few people would gather the courage to face William Ruto the way Kabogo did. The people who were calling in would have really rained blows on his head, but they were supporting him. So it's clear that Mount Kenya is being mobilized against Ruto. I don't know what you think. That's my take. Until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.